Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Rosie and, well, I currently don't really know what I'm doing with my life.
Take my hand and hold it tight.
I finished my masters in September. Right at the end of September, we handed in our thesis and then I went straight to Germany for a month. And I've basically been back since November, trying to catch up mentally and physically with the strain that I put my body through during writing my thesis and going to Germany. So I've been a bit slow, I've been a bit sparse on social media, and I'm sorry about that, but I just needed to take a step back, have a break, and, you know, recuperate properly so that I could prioritize things for my future, like jobs, moving, that sort of thing. So, taking inspiration from Holly Gabrielle, I'm going to be doing a 22 things I'd like to achieve or do in 2022. This really isn't a New Year's resolution video because I feel like with New Year's resolutions there's a pressure to try and better yourself in a way that society thinks is better. I don't know. Some of the things on my list are like that, but honestly most of them are just random stuff that I kind of always wanted to do and haven't done, and a lot of them are really simple. But here goes. My 22 things that I want to get done in 2022. Get a job. And I don't just mean any job, okay, it could be any job because I just need money, don't I? But I've had jobs before, I've been working since I was 14. I'd like a job that is related to my degree subjects. I've finished my undergrad, I've finished my masters. I want a job where those 5 whole years between starting uni and now have added up. I want to be an archaeologist. I would also like to move out in 2022. And I may be looking to live somewhere that you all might recognise. A biggie for this year is to work on structure and consistency. This is a general one because it applies to almost everything, but I have found that sort of since leaving school, where you have a very strict structure that you have to follow every single day, my ability to focus, to be consistent in terms of when I'm awake, when I'm doing jobs, whether I can actually focus every day has gone rapidly downhill. And I'm pretty sure it's because whilst I dislike structure, because I like my timetable, I like my schedule, I need it. So whether that is being consistent with waking up, consistent with when I go to bed, consistent with the gym, consistent with food, cooking, washing up, whatever. That's what I'm working on, and that is my maybe that is my one actual New Year's resolution, is to work on consistency and structure. So I'd quite like to present at a conference. Now I sort of did this in 2021 because a video that I'd made, it was actually made for my YouTube channel, was featured in the CIFA Early Careers Conference, and that's the Chartered Institute for Archaeologists. This was featured, but obviously I wasn't actually presenting live to the conference, and that for me is quite a big step up because when you're live, you can't edit bits out. You can't just ramble and then think afterwards, ugh, that doesn't mean anything or make any sense, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I have a big problem with starting to talk and then my brain getting too far ahead. So actually I no longer know what I'm talking about and I don't know where I was meant to go next, and I need to practice that. But doing a live conference I think is something that I need for both my confidence but also because why not? Now I guess these are connected, but I also would like to submit an academic paper. Whether that paper will be what I present at a conference is an entirely different story, as is whether the paper is accepted. I just want to go so far as to submit, because I think even just submitting your work is a major thing, you know, to have enough belief in what you've written. Thankfully, I do have my master's supervisors helping me, and they're always, you know, instilling confidence in my work, and hopefully with them, we can submit a paper this year, but that's a big goal as well. I'd also like to finally get to Italy. this year. Way back in, around October 2019, me and my boyfriend started planning an interrailing trip around Italy to see all of the archaeological sites and old cities that I'd been studying. And we were meant to go in September 2020. That didn't happen.
Coronavirus!
We then instead tried to book to go to Venice in December 2020. Didn't happen.
Coronavirus!
October 2021, let's try again. Everything's calmed down, it's gonna be great, it'll be safe. We booked to go to Milan December 2021. Had to cancel it because
Coronavirus!
Maybe because, you know, bad things come in threes. The fourth time we'll be successful and we'll actually get to Italy. Do you like my green screen? I thought it was a great touch. I'd like to finish things that I started during lockdown 1 because I am a serial find a new hobby, buy all the materials, do it for a week and never do it again person. So you can probably guess there was plenty of those during lockdown 1 and I'd really like to just finish them. One of those is planning a little children's book that I still really want to do. There's also the study tubers video that I was meant to make literally in like July 2020. I'm well aware it's been over a year, but I did not spend 6 months of my life drawing every member of the study tube project as an Avengers character for it to never be used in a video. Considering I hit 15,000 subscribers in 2021, I would like to do the next thing and hit 20,000 in 2022. Now this one is really random, but I've always wanted to make homemade gnocchi. Is that how you say it? I'm really excited to make YouTube content in 2022. I think it's a bit daunting because I don't really know what I'm doing, so I don't know what direction my content's gonna go in. But as long as I enjoy making it, I'm gonna keep making it. That being said, in 2022, I'd really want to focus on making content that I enjoy making, as opposed to trying to figure out every video based on what I think people would like to watch. Because honestly, I think if you enjoy making a video, then it's more enjoyable to watch anyway. Considering I'm gonna be getting a job, did I just jinx that? I hope not. I'm gonna need to be driving. I can drive, I have a license. I've had a license since I was 17 years old, but I have very minimal driving experience because I just couldn't afford to also maintain a car. Now's the time. This one is potentially the most random one on the list. And that is to cycle more, and not in a way that you think. Like, it is not to make like an ethical choice in terms of transport or for the exercise or even to get outdoors more. It is because I used to be fine, okay? And I don't know, I've built up this weird fear. It's not even a fear. Like, when I'm on my bike, I'm not scared, but it's just the act of doing it. I'd rather walk and take an extra like 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get somewhere. And I don't know why. I'd like to try and get past that. Another really random one that also happens to be potato related is to make those 15-hour crunchy potatoes. Don't tell me you haven't seen them. They're these. I've seen them all over TikTok, all over Instagram, and I think it's about time that I gave it a try. 2022 is my year. I really want to put on a dinner party for some friends. I really want to throw one, and honestly I think it'll be the most stressful experience ever, but also a really nice experience. This one I think is going to be shared with lots and lots of people, but that is to make more economic and sustainable choices with what I buy, with, you know, disposing of waste, that sort of thing. I do recycle as much as I can already, but in terms of actually buying products, I'd like to find some shops, you know, those top-up shops where you just take your own container and there's no plastic, you fill up what you need and then you go and refill. If I'm on a sustainable enough salary to do that, then I would like to do that. I also want to shop more in charity shops or on Depop, just generally second hand. Quite a few of these are YouTube goals, but this one I think will also help me in the long run, depending on what I end up doing in the future, but that is to keep practicing with Premiere Pro. I only switched to Premiere Pro to edit my videos around May, and I'm getting there with it, but it is quite a complex program to use. You know, there isn't just effects you can click and they'll run it for you. You have to sort of time everything, so instead of just clicking fade in and it fades in, you have to like time the opacity to change gradually. So it's a lot to get your head around, but it's really good when you are used to it, and there's a lot of good tutorials online, and I just want to keep working on that basically. Back to academia, I really enjoy researching, and in an ideal world I would like to be doing a PhD either next year or the year after. Don't quote me on that because currently I can't afford one, but ideally that's what I'd be doing. So I need to be writing PhD proposals, getting in touch with supervisors. I have one particular supervisor in mind that I really want to work with, but I need to come up with some actual good ideas to try and research for 3 years. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. I was reading the same book that I was meant to read in 2020 and never started because I set unattainable reading goals. So this year, I'm just gonna set the goal of reading 1 book a month, and hopefully I can do it. Another random one. I'd like to swim in the sea. I have done this before. I haven't been able to do it for several years because we haven't been on holiday. You know, I mean, we've been on holiday, but not where we could swim in the sea. So that's a goal. I would also like to get tickets to see another member of One Direction live or Måneskin. I'm not fussy, honestly. I don't think I'll be able to get tickets to see any of One Direction live because they go so fast, and for some reason, even if I'm on there exactly at the right time, they've all sold out by the time I get through. Finally, this is also a biggie. I really want to work on the sort of letting people down guilt. I think so many people have this. And with that, I hope you all have a great new year, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.